being that I didn't record the math session truly because you said nothing to me, and I thought you were being, you know, but it's on Facebook nevertheless, so you can still have access to the math class. It's on Facebook. All right. All right, the food for thought. It was not deliberately chosen because of the topic that we are studying. But when I look back at it, I said, but wait, is the right thing I chose? Now, size of the family, and you're all ladies here, this is for you. A grievous wrong to mothers, children, and society. There are parents who, without consideration as to whether or not they can do justice to a large family, fill their houses with these helpless little beings who are wholly dependent upon their parents for care and instruction. This is a grievous wrong not only to the mother, but to her children and to society. When you see all these mothers walking up and down with these little children, some of them probably are just 1 year apart, and them on the road begging. They didn't consider whether or not they could afford it. They could do justice to having more than one child. And God is saying to us through his manservant, Sister Ellen G. White, that's a grievous wrong. Parents should always bear in mind the future good of their children. Always. They should not be compelled to devote every hour to taxing labor in order to provide the necessaries of life. Right? You must not be compelled to do that. Don't put yourself out there. If you know you can't afford to have more than one child, then don't have another child. And this lesson that we are studying, this what you studied this week, for today's class, some of what we are reading here can be used in some of the discussions in your essays for exams. But this is an advantage of birth control. This is an advantage of what we call planning for your family, planning for for children, right? So it is saying that you should not be compelled to devote every hour to taxing labor in order to provide the necessities of life. Before increasing their family, they should take into consideration whether God would be glorified or dishonored by their bringing children into the world. They should seek to glorify God by their own union from the first and during every year of their married life. So even in childbearing, we must be glorifying God, right? A mother must know that if me have to go rob or steal for mind my children, then me not have children at all. Because guess what? My actions would not be honoring God, but be dishonoring God. That's what it's really saying, right? That's what it's really saying to us. So if you know that you're not you're not employed, no have no picnic because you're going to dishonor God. You're going to dishonor God, right? You have to go overwork yourself because you have to go feed more than one mouth. You go overwork yourself, and then when you overwork yourself, you don't have no time for God, you don't have no time for devotion. So when you're going to have your next child, think about these things, ladies. Think about it. Can you really afford to have a child? We are living in a time where fathers not carrying out their responsibilities, their financial responsibilities. And it is left upon you now to be feeding the child and mind caring for the child financially by yourself. And some of we have to do odd jobs. And when you do odd jobs, the children have nobody to supervise them and all these things. So bearing in mind this message to you, consider the size of the family, whether having another child would be glorifying or dishonoring God. All right? So I hope that was some food for thought. All right. The first objective in the syllabus requires you to distinguish between sexual and asexual reproduction. First, you have to know what we mean by sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. Can anybody tell me what do we mean by asexual reproduction? If you don't know, look it up. Hmm? If you don't know, Google it.
It does not involve the fusion of sex cells called gametes.
Oh, you're talking about asexual, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does not involve what? The
The fusion
fusion
of sex cells
of sex cells.
called gametes.
Okay. All right. Good. What about sexual now? So asexual reproduction does not, sorry, I make a mistake there, does not involve fusion of sex cells called gametes. Yes. So asexual reproduction does not involve fusion of sex cells called gametes. Thank you very much, Alia. Anybody else? Come folks, you're allowed to research the answer for this one. Anybody else? What about sexual reproduction?
It involves it.
It involves, go ahead, it involves what?
Now the opposite of that said that does not that mean sexual does it.
Okay, ma'am. It involves fusion of sex cells called gametes. Alright, so that's the major difference. Good? Major difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. Good? But question though, welcome home, Chevelle. We just started. It has been recorded so far. The devotion is there. Very important message for ladies. Okay. All right. The sexual reproduction involves fusion of sex cells called gametes, and on the other hand, asexual reproduction does not involve fusion of sex cells called gametes. But my question though, do they have anything in common? Hmm? Do they have anything in common? Is there a sex cell in asexual reproduction? Is there one?
Yes, sir. No. They say
Is there a sex cell in asexual reproduction?
No.
You said
Yeah.
no. What's the sex cell in what is the sex cell in asexual reproduction?
Gametes. Gametes.
In asexual, give me an example of a gamete in an asexual reproduction. Is there one? Hmm? All right. Now, obviously, there's something that they get new plants from, like the grass, which is a monocotyledon, and it must have something. Yeah. Some of these plants grow from what we call spurs, right? But the other difference, though, you could add to this is that while in sexual reproduction you have meiosis taking place, but in asexual reproduction you only have mitosis taking place. So what is technically common to both of them is the cell division called mitosis. All right, so that's one thing that is possible common to both of them. Yeah, it is common to both of them. All right, so everybody write up this information already?
Yes.
All right, I'll answer for everybody. Okay, nobody is saying no, so I'm going to get rid of it.
Yes, sir. Write it down.
Okay, good. All right, so we're going to now move on. Um, let's see. All right, let's go. What type something like class? All right, let's go. Now describe the structure and function of the reproductive systems in human beings. So you know what you're going to do for me now. For those persons who did the lesson, Trudy and Nicole, you should be able to answer without the use of a notebook. All right, let's identify. Let's start with the female first because you're supposed to know your own bodies, eh? You're supposed to know your own bodies, right?
Yep.
Good. All right, so let us start with the female one. What is the name of the passage right here? What is supposed to know? Just
Vagina.
vagina. Very good. Be ashamed if you don't know. What's the name of this section right here? Somebody else. Trudy, when you watch a video, I know you must know. Hello, shine, shine. What's the name of this part of the female reproductive system?
Cervix.
So is all the moon alone as a reproductive system? All right. What about this part of it now? Right here. What is right here called? Not you, Mona, somebody else. Hello?
You're the uterus.
The uterus. Very good. Thank you very much. Right here is called the uterus. Um, what is this part called, Nicole?
Left ovary.
What is it, Nicole? Ovary. No, you know, that's what I'm pointing on. Right here. What is it called? Yeah?
I'm not seeing it first. I put it over the next side.
Right here. What is this part called right here?
Overdose.
Oviduct. What's the other name for it?
Fallopian tube.
Fallopian tube. Very good. Everybody know that this is the ovaries, right? Good. All right. So we know the female autonomy. Very good. Um, let's look at the male autonomy now. Now, what is B called?
The penis.
B is called the penis. You see where B is pointing to?
Hmm?
You see where B is pointing to?
Or the uterata, something like that.
Urethra.
Urethra.
Yes, good. Now, what about D? Nicole or Chevel, D. What is D? What is D?
D is I look at curly. Oh yeah. The epi.
Epi what?
Diamonds.
Epidermis. Epidermis. Okay. All right. Um. Well, let us assume that A is pointing on this. All right. Now, Nicole, what is A pointing on? Right here. Nicole,
Yes, I'm listening to you.
and I'm asking you a question. What is this part called right here? Eh? All right. Chevel, you have an answer for us? What is this part called?
So the sperm duct or the vas deferens.
It's called a vast difference. Very good. Thank you very much. I know that both of you got the same worksheet. Both of you got the same videos to watch. I don't see why Nicole doesn't know the answer for that. Now, let me say this before we go any further. Now, not everybody can read and remember. I agree. And myself not such skills. If you think that you're a tactile learner, that you learn by the hands-on way, then my advice to you is to make a model of the system. So in this case, you make a model of this. You don't label it none at all, you make a model, right? So therefore, when you're in your spare time, you can practice to identify the various parts. Make sense? Okay, I would think so. Now, what is E? Nobody can tell me what E is? Nobody can tell me what E is?
The prostate gland.
The prostate gland. Okay, good. What is F? What is F?
Seminal vesicles.
All right, good. All right. Make sure you know it out on the head. And of course, this part here, what is it called? What is it called? It's called a what? It's called erectile tissue. That's what it's called, okay? All right. The entire organ is the penis, yes, but on the inside here is the erectile tissue. Okay. So from that activity, you're able to identify the structures. Now we're going to talk about the functions now. Okay? Now, what is the, by the way, this part of the oviduct or the fallopian tube, what is actually called? This part right here. We have these gritty lines then. Anybody can tell me? This is the part, what is it called? What is it called?
So the oviduct.
No man. This is the oviduct. Everything is the oviduct. But this part, the beginning part of the oviduct, what is it called? What is this part called?
So the tunnel.
Yes. The fallopian tunnel or the oviduct tunnel, right? Funnel rather. Funnel, not tunnel, but funnel. Alright, well done. Now, function. What is the function of the oviduct? Can anybody tell me? What's the function of the oviduct?
Fertilization occurs for fertilization to occur.
So, all right. See, what you have to say to me now? Yeah, tell me where. I never ask you where fertilization take place now. That's a different question. But the function of it is to accommodate or to facilitate fertilization, but not just the fertilization only, but the passage of the ova. Is that clear? The passage of the what? Ova. That's where the ova travels from the ovary to the uterus, through the cervix, and through the vagina and out. All right? So you have to understand how you term it make a difference. Make sense? Or you state it, rather. Or you state it. All right. Now let's ask a question here. What is the function of the epidermis? Nicole, what's the function of the epidermis?
Sorry, where the sperm cells.
Very good. Store the sperm cells. All right. Wonderful. 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 Store the sperm cells. Very good. Very good. Now, back to the model. You see, when you build a model, you can use it to tell the story of the reproductive system. Because I could actually spend the entire class on this diagram here and I ask you to function, tell me what happens between here and here, between the ovary and the oviduct funnel. And it's, you see, you start talk about a lot of things just by using this little diagram here. So I'm just encouraging you all or instructing you all to make your reproductive, your human and social biology play kit. We call them toys. Very important, folks. Do not take my instructions for granted. Very important. All right. All right. So we're going to move on because you can just basically read the rest of the information there. All right. Now, in this question, they ask you to describe the menstrual cycle. And always remember, when the syllabus asks you to describe, let me see if anybody can recall. When the syllabus asks you to describe, what are they asking you for? Trudy. Trudy, yeah? Trudy, yeah? Anybody can tell me, please? When the syllabus asks you to describe, what do they expect of you?
To give a brief, to give a brief description.
A brief description, not brief. You must give factual, detailed description. Factual, detailed description, right?
Yeah.
Must be because some of you in the worksheet, when you ask to describe, when you give one sentence. Oh, guys, I finished marking the worksheet, just did not upload it as yet. I haven't scored it as yet, but I finished marking them. You give one sentence, and one sentence is not detailed. That doesn't make no sense to me. Now, what are the methods you can use when you're giving the description? What are the methods you can use when giving the description?
Yeah, use diagrams.
Diagrams or a combination of both words and diagrams, right? Right?
Yes.
Good. Remember what in the last week when we looked at there were two questions that had concept maps. And when I told you before you saw those two questions that you have to learn to use your concept maps when answering the question. And I don't see nobody practicing that. Nobody has to be in that. But when I go forward, when the exam come, remember I tell you that. Please to practice using the concepts maps when you're writing it in the develop in your description. Please, I beg on it. Now, the menstrual cycle, would you consider it to be a process? Yes or no? Anybody? Would you consider the menstrual cycle to be a process? Yes or no? All right. Now, just to remind you of how to give a description, provide detailed factual information of the appearance or arrangement of a specific structure or the sequence of a specific process. Which part of this definition would relate to the describing the menstrual cycle? Can somebody tell me?
I
Right,
just
now,
said.
wait. I'm saying I just read the definition of how to describe at the CXC level. I'm asking now, what part of the definition does the menstrual cycle refers to? I'm going to start the call name from bottom to top. Chodian, what do you think? Sorry. What you think? Yes, what you think, Julian? Let me read the definition again for you in your hearing. When you're giving a description, the examiner expects you to provide detailed factual information of the appearance or arrangement of a specific structure or the sequence of a specific process. What part of that definition would refer to the description of the menstrual cycle?
Sir, diagram.
No. There's no word of diagram, man. Let me read it again and you tell me. Think, man. Provide detailed factual information of the appearance, arrangement of a specific structure, or the sequence of a specific process. But Uno go through menstruation for months and years, and then that tell me something to know whether it's a structure. Eh? Like seriously? Backside. No, sir. Alright, since I me have menstruation, let me tell you. Because I must me have menstruation. The part of the definition that refers to describing the menstrual cycle
The sequence.
is exactly the part that refers to the sequence of a specific process. Of course, because there's a sequence, and I'm going to write it on the board. I'm going to write it on the board because they say the problem is on a